we will experience his laughter and tears, his anger and sadness, often his beaming smile, because our souls include all of those. A year ago, I bought this book entitled Images of Jesus. This is perceived and portrayed in non-European cultures. In the early pages, a sculpture from Brazil presents a tortured Christ on the cross, screaming in pain, straining against the nails, because the sculptor was himself tortured for his faith. And when he screamed during his torture, he remembered Christ feeling God-forsaken on the cross and screaming, my God, why have you deserted me?" But the sculptor also knew that rock-like Jesus endured to the end, fulfilled his mission, brought Easter life and hope to him, the Brazilian sculptor. Later in the book is a crucifix by an African. Christ is on the cross, burned by the sun, naked and in pain, but he's smiling. He knows he will win in the end, that he is dying so believers the world over can live with him the life that is stronger than death. He is already the king, and he knows it in his tortured bones. His smile shows the coming power of his reign over sin and death. One final portrait. In the last book of the Bible, the book of Revelation, the risen Christ, the Christ of Easter, appears in a vision to John, the writer, who describes Jesus this way. Now, this may be too much to look at, because we're not supposed to look directly into the sun. But here is John's description. His head and hair were white like wool, as white as snow. His eyes were like blazing fire. His feet were like bronze glowing in the furnace, and his voice like the sound of rushing waters. His face was like the sun shining in all its brilliance. Perhaps too much to look at. But coming to this table is safe. And if we come to this table in our sacred imaginations and in the depths of our souls, we can see Jesus. And more important, he sees us. He knows our joys and sorrows, and he wants to feed us with his faith, hope, and love. If you and I can meet him here, and he can again do his work in our souls, we will believe. Thanks be to God. Amen.